Hey guys, it's Jakobi. I just wanted to make a quick little video, and I thought, why not do that with the new game that I got, and just kind of go over some stuff that's been going on lately with me. I just kind of wanted to share this. I don't know, just we didn't have another video of Blossom Tales up yet. We have another video coming up soon, but Seth needs to edit that, and I figured we could have like a little one-on-one time with Jakobi, similar to like we did with the fireworks. So me and Seth are kind of bringing the channel back from the dead, I guess, if you will. We haven't been recording as often, obviously, and we've been just focused on work and whatnot, and we haven't really had time to upload, or didn't make time to upload. Rather, we always have time, we just don't make it. And we've just been playing a lot of games. Ever since we got Seth his gaming computer, he's been just kind of enjoying that himself and whatnot. And gosh, I'm doing this in post, and I'm looking at me building this bridge, and it is, what was I thinking? I don't know. It was my first bridge. So anyways, I had some stuff going on at work, and I thought I'd share it, and it'd be a cool little experience. And I want to see if you guys like this kind of style of video, where you just kind of watch me build stuff, and or do whatever, and I'll just kind of voice over it. Yeah, here I am trying to figure out the controls. While I was at work a few days ago, I came up against this customer. If anybody doesn't know, we work in a retail store, and we have a copy shop inside of it. A coffee, not coffee, but copy center. So we make copies and stuff for clients. A lot of our clients have businesses, as you can imagine. Maybe the printers down at the office, they have to come in to us and get their stuff printed. And I'm actually kind of talking a little bit quieter than normal, just because it's 12 o'clock at night. I just had a pretty good experience, and I thought, yeah, I want to make a video. Anyways, so we have a copy center, and we make copies for clients. I already said that. We had one day where we had just no staff in our copy and print center, and me being one of the managers at the retail store, I went over there to go help out. Unlike some managers that just kind of stand around, but I'm pretty willing to work and help get a job done and whatnot. So I was back there helping out with some customers, and there was one lady in particular. We'll just name her W. W came up to me and was like, "Hey, I need to print this email off." So I gave her my email address so she can get it printed. And so once I received her email, we went to go get it copied. And I noticed that it was like this health and wellness form. I just kind of glanced again. It's not like I'm like looking at their documents, but I just noticed it, and it was like a checklist for a store to open up, and they sell health and wellness stuff like protein powder, workout supplements. They had like organic stuff and some organic shampoo. For you guys who don't know, I'm actually balding, so a little running joke is I just was like, oh, you should let me know when this place opens so I can swing by there and pick up some shampoo, which is pretty funny for a balding guy, right? Haha. And so we kind of had a little chuckle about it, but the W was like, oh yeah, if you should give me your number, and I'll let you know whenever the store opens up, and you can either you can stop by, or maybe you can let your friends know, or whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, just making some business small talk, nothing really crazy, but just kind of something to give the customer, just for the wait and whatnot, just good service. So I give her my number, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't have anybody else to talk to anyways. But yeah, so after that, she texts me after she left. She's like, hey, thanks again for the copies or whatever. And I just thought, maybe that's the end of that. Nothing really crazy going on. Then a few days later, I got a message from her. And I'm actually going to read it back word for word here from my phone, since I just so happen to have it on me here. let's see. Okay. So she says, "Hi, Jakobi. This is W. Thanks again for helping me out with those copies a couple of days ago. Hey, I know this is really random, but like I mentioned, I'm actually linked up with some business owners on the side of what I do full time, which, coming back to me here, which is kind of a little different because she had mentioned that she worked with some people that work with Apple and Nike as far as like opening stores up, I guess. I forgot to mention that. Anyways, so she linked up with some business owners on the side of what she does full time. They do brand expansion for some big health and wellness companies on the web, as well as companies like Nike and Apple. No clue if that's a good fit, but you really carried yourself well the other day. Is it cool if I give you a call about it over the next couple of days?" So me thinking, I was like, oh, okay, well, I was talking about business stuff and whatnot. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this might be a opportunity for me to kind of expand out a little bit and meet some people from there, from Nike or Apple or whatever, and get my name out, because being a manager at a store, the pay's not the best, but it pays the bills. I'm able to live in an apartment with my brother, and so I was like, okay, cool, yeah, go ahead and contact me, and we'll see, like what stirs, we'll stir the pot a little bit, see what comes up. And so I get a call about a day or two later, and it was W from her number. I didn't say it for some reason. It was W, and she's like, "Hey, this is W. I was wanting to meet up with you. I was wondering if that's okay, and I want you to meet some of the guys that I work with and stuff like that." And so while I was talking to her, I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool. We'll meet up and we'll see, what exactly we can, what we can come up with. Like, let's talk some business. Like, okay, well, we'll do like an interview or something or whatever it might be, or even if like these guys wanted to like buy supplies from my store and they want to like work with me, I'd be cool with that too." What was I doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. This is some great bridge building right here, guys. And so so I was like, yeah, totally, let's meet up and we'll see what's going on. So we meet up the following day at just like a Panera Bread nearby, and we're just sitting there talking. It was just W. She didn't bring the other guys that she works with, and so I'm talking to her, and we're just talking about general stuff. So like, where did you grow up? Are you from around here? What kind of interests do you have? Like some general run-of-the-mill like interview questions and stuff. I was like, okay, well, this is definitely not going to be something where I'm doing business and like she's sending people my way. So while I'm doing that, I start getting kind of like this feeling like, okay, this is a little weird. Like, who just meets somebody at a Panera Bread, like after they talked with them? It just didn't feel very formal, I guess. So it was kind of strange for. Why did I think that would work? Of course it wasn't going to work. There it is. Yeah. There you go, Jakobi. That's thinking right there. There was no like, she didn't really mention any company names. She's just like, oh, we do brand expansion, and I'm just trying to figure out if this is a good fit for you and stuff. And so I was asking her like, what do you guys do, and like how would I be fitting in? And she just kind of went and just dodged the question and was like, well, I want you to meet so and so, and I think they would ultimately end up deciding this kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I'm still talking to her just a little bit, but I am staying like cautiously reserved, just because it just feels a little shady. Anyways, W ends up giving me a book, and this book is about like breaking like habits. It's kind of like a motivational book to talk about like like get you off your butt and start like investing money, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows they're supposed to be doing, but necessarily aren't. I know there's some things I have some stocks into, but I'm definitely not as proactive as I could be when it comes to stuff like that. And so she was like, okay, well, hey, read this book, and we'll come back in a few days. We'll figure out like when's a good time, and we'll kind of go over everything, and you'll meet this other guy. We'll call him K. You'll meet up with K, and we'll figure out. We'll talk. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, why not? So that day was today. I got off work at, I don't know, like 10 o'clock at night almost. Show up at the Panera Bread again. The Panera Bread's closed. They close at 9:30. And just the whole like, read this book, and we'll meet back and you'll talk with this person. It really threw me off with everything. It just felt like one of those pyramid scheme things, and I'm sure you can tell by the title of the video by this point, 11 minutes in, that's ultimately what I think it ended up being. It just felt really sketchy. Like what kind of job will just give you a book to read and figure out if you're a good fit for their company? Like let's talk business. I don't want to sit there and just read the book and you'll meet so and so, and then so and so will figure out your job, and da 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 da, and all this like walking around, and it gets you all confused and stuff. Right here I'm trying to get the score lower by just building like weird bridges, and it didn't work. Yeah, we'll go back to this design because I was over budget on this. Anyways, so I get off tonight, or I guess on the 8th. It doesn't really matter. I get off work 10 o'clock at night. We go over to the Panera Bread. Kay's over there, just sitting, on his phone or reading a book or whatever. I wasn't really paying attention to him. And I get out of my car, go up there, talk to him, just ask him, like, what has he heard from W? Like, what kind of things have you heard? What exactly did she tell him? That kind of stuff, did she tell you like what my background is and stuff like that? And he actually apparently had no idea other than I'm good. So that kind of threw a red flag in my head. Like, how are you gonna, like, how could you want somebody to work for your company or whatever, and it doesn't have a stupid like checklist, like these general questions such as, what do you do for a living right now? Like, he didn't even know what I did for a living already. Like, he didn't even know what my skill set was, and that right there already told me that this guy is not legitimate. Like, not to even really maybe give him a few cents and be polite at least, and not just blow up in his face and be like, oh, that's it, I'm done. So I kind of went along with it just for the session. I'll call it a session, and just to see what they say and whatnot. And the whole time I was there, Kay was just kind of explaining how a bunch of these different business guys were able to come up with ideas and make their businesses succeed. It's like McDonald's, how they have like two different branches that the main guy created. Like, one owns the restaurant supply area, and the other one runs like the teaching, so that everybody can make hamburgers. Which I was like, okay, well, whatever. Like, what does that have to do with anything that we're doing? Like I want to talk business. So like, let's, like, what's your company? This kind of thing. And so I let him do all of his talking, and he explains that we're in phase 2 of like a 4-phase thing, which I guess phase 1 is to lure me in, phase 2 is to bait me, phase 3 is to get me to buy something, and phase 4 is to like ignore me and never hear from me again, or never hear from them again or something. so he's just sitting there explaining this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I'm giving it like no thought, just like this is in my head. I'm just like, this is super shady, whatever. He ends up finishing up, and I end up asking him like, hey, so what would I be doing? You know, like what am I be doing? Like how would I fit in at this company that you say you have? You know, things that would make sense for a job. And he just dodges my question. He says, well, that's what we would do in phase 3. You know, so-and-so, this other person that I work for, which I thought Kay was the head guy, but apparently Kay's not. He works for somebody else. Which already right there sounds like a pyramid scheme, right? This person, I work for this person who's under this person, and it's just a never-ending cycle of people that don't hold responsibility for whatever's going on, so nobody can be held accountable. And so it was just a really sketchy situation. After I kind of went off with that little tangent there, I was like, okay, well, I want to make sure that this is a good fit for myself. Oh, and there's no way that this bridge design is going to work. I was just trying to figure out, like, is this a good thing for myself? Like, am I going to be like vested in something like a company that has brand expansion in Apple and Nike? Like, I don't even really know what that means. That's, you know, it sounds like just like a vague term to make it sound like it's professional, but it's really just not. Is some good vocabulary right there. So after asking him this and that, and like, you know, tell me about this company, tell me what I'd be doing, you know, like why beat around the bush? You know, I'm a straightforward guy. Like, you know, if this isn't gonna work for me, then it's not gonna work. I'll head out. I'll go home. So after kind of pushing that on to Kay, he did make a comment saying that the guy he works for has a certain way of doing it, and that he doesn't deviate at all. He has to use like credentials or something to pull up some PowerPoint slides or something. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I understand the PowerPoint, trying to like level with him. It's like, I understand that, but like all in all, that's, look at it from my point of view, and it looks super sketch. And so I was telling him, like, what was I doing here? There it is, the Doritos. Like, look at it from my point of view, and you know, it's weird. So I did ask him. I had asked him all the stuff, like what would I be doing if I'd be doing like door to door, like cold knocks or cold selling, or if I'd be doing something more along the lines of like sitting in an office calling people, that kind of thing. And Kay just was like, well, that's phase 3, you know, can't help you with that. And so I'm just sitting, and it's just no good in my head. So I basically ended up telling him, just, you know, I have reservations about this, and I have a lot of uncertainties because you guys are being very vague. And every time I would ask something about like this company that he worked for, he'd always dodge my question and just say, you know, it's in phase 2 or phase 3 or 4 or something dumb like that. And so I actually straight up asked him, I was like, you know, why do you keep dodging my questions? Like, I want to talk business. I want to talk about like what you guys are doing and things along those lines. And he's like, well, that stuff would come in phase 3, and I'm feeling pretty confident that you're not suited for me. So he probably got the vibe that I'm not falling for a stupid scam. And we ended it there. So I just came home and wanted to make a little ranty video. Gosh, it's already been this long. Yeah, well, that's kind of what was going on. For any of you that stuck around this late in the video, me and Seth, like I said, are kind of coming back with bring the channel back to life. We've been gone for too long. And I just want to let you guys know we have a Discord server. Description or links down in the description. As of right now, with Seth and myself, we have 6 members. So 6 of you guys, you get early access to some of the videos that we put up when we when we upload. But yeah, we're trying to stay consistent on that. But anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call this video done. Thank y'all so much for sticking around if you stuck around this long. And we'll see you guys on a more fun, upbeat video, and less depressing life stuff. Unless it's what you guys want. Give me a thumbs up if you do. And we'll see y'all around. Peace.